Good afternoon and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Brendan Rodgers has been given a one-match ban. We'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, I want to listen to Brendan and see what he's been saying about the shape of the squads going into the last part of the season.
Well, I think that obviously we've been getting players back, which is really good, and fingers crossed by the end of this international period that we all come back and then we're all ready and braced for a real exciting run in.
For the fans, they've got an eye on the derby match up next weekend. But for you and the players, I imagine 100% focus is on the
Of course.
away game against Livingston on Sunday. How tricky an encounter will that be specifically? And more generally, is there always a hidden danger in playing against the team at the bottom of the table who are always fighting for everything?
Yeah, well, I think every game in this division can be a difficult game. But it's how you perform, and our focus will be very much on ourselves. We played Livingston only recently there, and attacking wise, we were very good in the game, but we gave too much away for my liking. So our mentality and focus purely on Livingston at the weekend is to go and play to the level and game that we want to play in, but making sure that we don't give so much up in terms of opportunities and space. And if we can do that, then we can have a very good day, hopefully.
Interesting. They never spoke about any specific players. One thing that we're all thinking is Callum McGregor. Is Callum McGregor going to be back? But Celtic did put out a statement. They put out a statement this afternoon following the hearing by the SFA, the disciplinary panel today, Thursday. Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers has been issued with a 2-match suspension. One match is immediately will apply to Sunday's game against Livingston, while one match is suspended until the end of the season. So he's got one match suspension and another one if he steps out of line, he'll get banned again. Celtic Football Club statement: clearly we are disappointed with the outcome of today's hearing. What happened to the big shot that they were bringing in that was going to bring down the SFA and bring down the corruptness? And he's kind of just folded, isn't he? Bit of an anti-friggin' climax, if you ask me. The manager appeared at the hearing today, and his defence was presented robustly and thoroughly. Like many other clubs, we will continue press for the highest standards in relation to VAR process in Scottish football. Celtic once again had a chance to nail this lot to the cross, and they didn't do it. I was expecting Celtic in this big shot. Why the need to get in this big shot lawyer to back Brendan? What was that all about, Celtic? You have folded once again. Fergus McCann would never have let this happen so easily. Fergus McCann would never have let this happen so easily. I mean, just accepting. I mean, it is a 2-match ban and one suspended. Do you know he gets away if he does anything wrong? He'll get suspended straight away. It's an absolute nonsense. Celtic once again. Celtic for me is not a victory. It isn't a victory whatsoever at all. Brendan Rodgers. I mean, the headlines are going to say that Brendan Rodgers is free to face the Rangers. He's free to face the Rangers. Brendan Rodgers will be free to take his place at the away dugout for next month, and they're all going to do it. Yes, they're going to talk about that terminology that Celtic have never really spoken about since 2012. Yeah, that's going to be all over the papers. Anyway, I'm sick of it. Celtic have let themselves down. All this nonsense about getting this top shot lawyer in and just basically what is the point? What is the point? Anyway, Celtic today released also details about voting for the player of the year. Celtic FC Player of the Year ceremony, the 20th ceremony. Voting is open now. Let's get some of the comments. There's still a chance for you to join us at the Player of the Year ceremony at the Hydro on May the 12th. May the 12th. With returning legends and current heroes as special guests. Just another way to milk the fans. Why not? Just bring out a strip there for all Irishness and then fucking milk the fans even more. That's all it's about these days. Anyway, the first comment up is not time for this nonsense. Next comment up, what type of vote? Nobody comes close to the legendary goal of the season. Is Lama Soro. Jesus. And then Matthew is voting for Dyson. John, will this be so hard for the wrong reasons? No player has really excelled. Those flying in the first half of the season have dropped off, vice versa. Honestly, I'd give it to Joe Hart. Probably the only one who's been consistent. I think when you look at it, I still think that there's going to be a player in defence over there. And until the 1st of April is this Monday. You can vote for it. Greg Taylor, as somebody's put in. We've been poor this season. I can't think of a player of the year. O'Reilly was fantastic for 3 months. Hasn't kicked a ball since the winter break. There's no standout candidate, says Rab Corbett. You've not listed Pete Lawwell. Oh, Jesus. Hart, and it's not even close. Can I vote for Mikey Johnson? Still a few weeks remaining, says Stephen Moore. Celtic put Callum McGregor on the list. Well, Callum's been injured. Greg Taylor nominated for Player of the Year. Ha ha ha. If you brought some players in, it would be easy. The hardest part of the season approaching. Wait until the end before voting for them. Well, Celtic won't wait until the end of the season because they need to milk the fans for as much as possible before the end of the season. They won't have this type of thing after the season played, which is normally happen when a Player of the Season award goes up. It usually goes up at the end of the season. In normal football and sort of ground level football, it happens at the end of the season and you have your wee shindig and a bit schwally. But this modern day football era is just having it. Let's make it at the Hydro. Let's get about 30,000 people in. Let's charge them about 40 quid a time and let's make as much money as we can out of it. Have you not been watching us this season, says Ganglard Boy? You've got to be kidding me. Is this still going ahead? Christ, that'll be a struggle. Liam Scales' standards have dropped. Anyway, tell me what you think about Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers' ban. Is Celtic are disappointed with the SFA verdict. They're disappointed. They had a chance to show VAR for what it was, and they didn't do it today, I'm afraid. And we don't know the ins and outs. I mean, obviously, it's just the SFA will see it as a win for them. They're banning the manager. He's got a 2-game with 1 match suspended, 1 match suspended ban. So he really only sits at 1 game. But he'll be free to face the Rangers, and that's the headlines are going to go. They're going to say he should have been banned. When you look back a couple of seasons ago, the then Rangers manager, Stevie Gerrard, was only banned for 1 game. He was only banned for 1 game for something similar, for an outburst that he made. So it's a case of milk, lemonade, chocolate, if you ask me. Anyway, on that note, I am absolutely devastated with it because I thought Celtic today were going to come out all guns blazing and try and take down the referees, try and take down VAR and call it out for what it is. But they didn't. It's as simple as that. And on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, all around the world. Fucking unbelievable.